49ers fans don't like it when I point to the NFC and say it's the Bucs, the Rams, and the Packers who stand out. But until I know who your starting quarterback is going to be, 49er faithful, it's hard for me to pencil in the 49ers as one of the top teams in the NFC, especially if it's going to be Trey Lance, because we don't know what Trey Lance is going to be. Could be great, but right now, projecting into the season, the three teams in the NFC that stand out are the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Packers. And you mentioned the Packers.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur, who has 3 seasons as a head coach, 13 wins. Each of those 3 seasons was on with Rich Eisen yesterday. Here is LaFleur talking about how his relationship with, Aaron Rodgers has evolved.
I think it's just like anything. I think we know each other. I think there's a lot of trust and love and respect for one another. Not to say that we don't have our differences, just like anybody else. That certainly happens from time to time. But I think just the level that we communicate, we're always able to, be on the same page. And like I said, there's such a mutual respect for one another.
What would the a difference be? Like, and obviously it's resolvable, clearly. But just walk me through what a loggerhead moment with Rodgers would look like or sound like.
Well, it could be anything, right? It could be just in terms of how you're implementing a game plan, or there might be a certain play that I really want to run, but if he doesn't feel comfortable with it, why would I put him in that position?
Mm-hmm.
So he generally wins the arguments.
Yeah, hey, when you're Aaron Rodgers, you win most arguments. You've got a lot of equity built up to win your arguments because you're still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But Matt LaFleur deserves a ton of credit for being the guy who has to balance all the plates. He has to keep everybody happy. He's the one who's in the middle of a storm, caught between the front office and Aaron Rodgers. And I'm sure Aaron Rodgers has done plenty of venting to Matt LaFleur over the past 3 years about Brian Gutekunst and others in the front office. And LaFleur's the one who's got to keep the peace. He's got to have the right touch. You got to deal with Aaron Rodgers a certain way. You can't coach him hard. You can't coach him aggressively. You can't get in his face. There's a certain way to deal with him. And LaFleur, to his credit, from the moment he got the job, he knew how to deal with Aaron Rodgers, and he's gotten the most out of Aaron Rodgers far more often than not than I think than any candidate for that job, anybody they could have hired. I don't know that anybody could have done it any better than LaFleur has to manage what could have been a complete and total explosion at any point the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. Maybe took over, one of the most controversial, tough spots in the NFL with a quarterback that we know is, can be a little bit of a pain in the butt and stuck in his ways there. So, from the get-go, his ability to manage people in a team was put to the test. So every year he's had something about his own personality put to the test to where he goes, gosh, I got to fix this. Oh, man. Oh, crap. Year 1, it was the Audible thing. Then it was the Jordan Love thing. And then it was the next year, it was Aaron Rodgers wants to be traded. I might retire. Oh, I'm going to come back. And now this year it's Devontae Adams and the Aaron Rodgers thing. He's been phenomenal. I don't know if anybody's had to deal with more off-field turmoil to start their coaching career than Matt LaFleur. And then within that, we just expect, they'll be smooth and win the football games all the time. And that's where, again, I felt like he was a little disrespected in the Coach of the Year conversation for the 3rd year in a row because of that. The fact that he just hasn't won one yet, I think is a little shocking to me. And again, like we talked about yesterday, within this, and I wanted to get to this when you were just talking about the 49ers, they're not all that crazy talented there with the Rashawn Gary, Aaron Rodgers poster to show, like, hey, these are our 2 stars. So they're being coached well, and they have a quarterback that's amazing, and I don't know if LaFleur quite gets the respect he deserves.
Just something as simple as the Audible thing, which was, in my opinion, a complete and total concoction by Aaron Rodgers, a passive-aggressive / aggressive-aggressive effort by Rodgers to push back against an offense that Matt LaFleur intended to use that dramatically limited the ability of Aaron Rodgers to make changes to the play at the line of scrimmage. Rodgers didn't like it. instead of dealing directly with LaFleur, or maybe after doing so and it didn't work, that's when it went public. Remember, Mike Silver went there to do a profile, and it all blew up.
Right.
And Rodgers does it in a way where there's no smoking gun, there's no obvious dead body. But there are coaches who would know exactly what he was doing. They would say, we're not taking this crap from the player. I coach the team. You work for me. This isn't how it's going to go. And you have a big problem, you have a big mess, and you undermine the relationship.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.